a very concerning tweet would be announced. Concerning news coming out involving rapper Gunna being followed and approached by local gang members. Many connected to Young Thug or revenge for snitching. Let me explain. The day after Thug was released, he tweeted, "Wham, let's drop one on these rats, Peter." The name Wham refers to rapper Lil Baby, because we've seen Lil Baby call out Gunna for snitching out of the YSL trial. Lil Baby responded to Young Thug on Instagram saying, "We should." Young Thug followed it up with an Instagram clip with T.I., where he says he came home the right way, sort of sneak dissing Gunna.
Hey man, what you gotta tell these people?
Back. Back, Jack.
You feel me?
You did.
Hey man, ain't no cap in it.
No cap in my right.
You feel what I'm saying?
The right way.
It's time.
The right way, bro.
You feel what I'm saying?
Right way.
Yeah, that way.
Yeah.
And go tell that.
But today the beef continued, with Young Thug tweeting, "Gonna stop acting like we friends on the internet. I don't know you, my guy." Many people online thought Thug's Twitter got hacked, but academics confirmed it wasn't. With the announcement, Young Thug personally told Lil Baby, Lil Durk, and other rappers that Gunna is a snitch, according to academics.
The streets are so atrocious. Young Thug told everybody that Gunna was a snitch. I'm telling you this, I don't give a if you believe me. That's what he sent to. Or he sent a message to Durk, Baby. There's a few other rappers, I just won't call their names, just because some of them just told me in privacy. All of them rappers start not with Gunna, speaking out, they're chilling away. Thug got out, Gunna kinda hot. Ain't like you're trying to really like jump and work with Gunna, but
the story gets even more wild because a phone call was leaked of Young Thug talking to Lil Durk and asking him to diss Gunna on his new song.
"Hey Durk, I know I want you on. I'm dropping this this surprise album on the same day Buddy dropped his album. It's coming up soon. I need a verse from you. If you feel like replying, if you feel like you want to reply to it, saying or something, man, don't do it. Drop it on my album. I'm dropping a surprise album on the same day that dropping. Send your verse in, bro. I want you and Wham on the same song. Send your verse in."
This is when more rappers started getting involved in the beef with hopes of getting close to Young Thug for when he drops his first project since getting out. Drake took advantage of the opportunity when it was announced. Academics says Drake flew to see Young Thug just 2 hours after his release from jail and gave him $1 million.
they say 2 hours afterwards, Drake flew to Thug and allegedly gave him $1 million. Drake didn't tell me. Drake gonna hit me up and be like, which, by the way, super strategic move. Super strategic. Thug was in jail talking about let's squash all this beef. If I'm Drake, I need Atlanta. Okay, so I got one Atlanta. That's what I goes. Supposedly Drake flew to wherever Thug was at. Gave $1 million. Y'all can't turn Atlanta against no big Drizzy. Get the fuck out of here.
However, it could end badly for Young Thug because he's not supposed to start problems according to his probation agreement. DJ Academics spoke on Young Thug getting released and says the stipulations he's got are a setup for the court to try to put Young Thug back in jail. As he explains, it's set up for Thug to fail the agreement and have to do 20 years.
I know some of his fans think he beat the case. He definitely didn't beat the case. Beat the case means you got no stipulations. The Young Thug thing is a win, but it's also a huge setup. If you gonna tell me that they're gonna monitor him on a probationary basis for 15 years. Can't be in Atlanta. Can't communicate with co-defendants or gang members. He can't rap about, he can't promote any music that has to do with what they believe is gang activity. He's always gonna talk about him and his doing his thing. They might consider that gang activity. He might be like, yo, me is like, yo, we going to the park getting lit. We going to the club getting lit. They might be like, oh no, you talking about a gang. So, we celebrating right now because I think we could all see, if you follow that trial at all, whether you're a fan of Thug or not, you can see the pain, you can see this was going through it. Like, he gained a lot of weight. Everybody knows Thug was not that weight, so we happy he got out, but we definitely got to be very cognizant of how it's going to play out.
However, with how serious Thug's charges were, we'd see a professional lawyer share how the deal he got was amazing for Young Thug.
Young Thug absolutely won that plea deal for so many reasons. One, the prosecution got none of what they wanted when you think about what the charges were and what actually got pled to. And two, he saved himself some major civil liability. Let me break that down. So first off, prosecution had charged this man with 8 counts. 2 of them were very serious. 2 of them were basically saying that for years you were the leader of a criminal gang that committed murders and all types of acts all over the city of Atlanta. Those two charges Young Thug did not plead guilty to. Had he pled guilty to those, he would have gotten serious time, and all the victims of all of this alleged criminal street gang activity, including the families of victims, could have sued him civilly in court and said, hey, this man pled guilty to doing it. Now he's got to pay me. He pled nolo contendere. The judge accepted that plea. The prosecution said, Judge, you should not allow a nolo contendere plea on those two counts. The judge said, I am going to allow it.
But there's still a big issue with the YSL trial because reports came out that the state stole from Young Thug. Rapper Young Thug had millions in assets in his home when he was arrested, and now the state wants to seize it. The only problem with that is that he earned it with his very successful music career. The main item he'd worried about is his Richard Mille RM Bubba Watson with a price tag of $300,000, but on resale it's nearly $1 million.
3 p.m. to 11 p.m. Can you tell the jury some of your responsibilities and what your role was at Zone 3 evening watch?
Young Thug found it funny after the reports went viral, so he hopped on Instagram Live to laugh.
I'm on live. I just jumped on here to let you ladies know that yes, a goat can go live. Whoa! What's up? Who up right now? What's up? Who up right now?
But during the same day, Thug's lawyer Brian Steele took part in a motivational speech for a law classroom, calling Young Thug on FaceTime to share why they should be defense attorneys and not state prosecutors.
You guys should become lawyers. I think it's very important to help people out of the situations they're in the best you can. I mean, what side you want to be on? You want to put people in prison for mistakes? Because everybody makes mistakes. We're human, you know. And everybody on this phone, everybody in this classroom, you always need to know that you're one mistake away. And I feel like we need more people like Brian Steele on this earth and less people like that. So I think it's very, very, very important to become lawyers. I think it's very, very important to be a lawyer over any other thing. You know, lawyers and doctors are the two greatest beings that were ever founded, you know?
He even opened up about how he got released from his case, which was an incredibly emotional speech he made in front of everyone.
Anything that you want to say?
Yes, ma'am. I take full responsibility for, you know, my crimes or my charges. I want to say sorry to my family, my mom. My mom got 11 kids. I can't say all their names, you know. My managers, my kids that's not here. Really everybody that got something to do with this situation, I want to say sorry for just like, you know, having so much time invested into this, you know. And I am a smart guy, I am a good guy, and I really got a good heart, you know. I find myself in a lot of stuff because I was just nice or cool, you know, and I understand that you can't be that way when you reach a certain height because it could end bad.
Young Thug continued with his speech, and everyone in the room realized that he's a good guy.
I hope that you allow me to go home today and just trust in me to just do the right thing and never see you again unless it's at a, you know, bar in the future or something. Just out of this type of situation, I promise you I won't ever be in this type of situation again. I'm going away. I've learned from my mistakes, you know. I come from nothing and I've made something and I didn't take full advantage of it. I'm sorry. Through these last 2.5 years of my life, you are really, truly, honestly, the best thing that has happened to me because you made everything fair for me and everybody involved on both sides, you know. I'm sorry to the sheriff, you know, everybody for just having to put extra time in. I know y'all got paid more money, but I'm sorry for y'all having to put this extra time in to be away from y'all family, you know, and I just hope that...
Thug ended the speech talking about how he's used his influence for good in the past, from performing and donating money to good causes and generating money for underdeveloped communities and schools.
You find it in your heart to allow me to go home and be with my family and just do better as a person. I know what I bring to the table. I know what I am. I know the heights I've reached. I know the impact I got on people period, in the community, you know, all people. I learned that late, like these past 2 or 3 years of my life, I kind of learned that late, and maybe it was because I was, you know, probably on or anything, I don't know, but I have came to my senses and I understand what I mean to this world. But I am a good guy, you know. I don't mind doing stuff like, you know, like free shows, and I always did that. You know, I did free shows and gave it to single parents, millions of dollars. You know, I made $1.8 million on a free show, and I gave it all to single parent charity, and I did.
But what most people don't know is that Young Thug decided to make a plea deal for his kids, announcing, Young Thug's lawyers say Thug insisted on this because he couldn't handle 3 more months of his kids hurting if there was a chance he could come home today. His lawyer told him they were winning the trial and was okay with either decision.
For almost 2 years since we did our jury selection initiation on January 4th, 2023, Mr. Williams has been sitting in a jail since May 9th, 2022. This is 2.5 years waiting for the conclusion of the state's case and a verdict from the jury, and that's why he is tendering this plea. I'm telling the court this, and the court knows when you came out the first time, it's very hard for Mr. Williams. I am not supportive of what we're doing right now. I'm not against it. But I told Mr. Williams, you okay with me saying yes? I told Mr. Williams that I think we're winning the trial and we should go to verdict. But he told me I can't wait another 3 months if there is any possibility I could go home because I have children that are hurting.
The judge knew Young Thug was emotional here, which is when she'd finally announced his sentence to the courtroom.
So essentially, the total sentence is 40 years to serve the first 5 years in prison, but commuted to the time that you have already served, followed by 15 years on probation, followed then by the backloaded 20 years, which can be served in custody and will be served in custody if you are not successful on your probation. If you are successful in completing your 15 years probation, that will be commuted to time served.
Shortly after Thug was released and the court was finished, his lawyers went to reporters for a post-game interview with an update.
As far as how Jeffrey's feeling now, he knows my feelings, which I'm not going to reveal for attorney-client privilege, but this is not the same as a not guilty verdict. That should have been ran. But nobody here wakes up every day on a concrete floor that they're calling his bed, gets up at 4:15, gets shackled at his feet, his waist, and his hands, comes to the Fulton County Courthouse to be on concrete, eating out of a bag. Doritos is his meal of choice. And then coming to a courtroom and sit there with a leg chain on him every single day and hear lie after lie. So for Jeffrey go home today and not have another 90 days or 120 days of it, he is very happy.
This got the attention of rappers in the industry. Even 4-2, Doug explained it felt like someone had it out for Young Thug and they wanted to keep him forever.
Have you been tapped into the YSL case at all, and how do you think that's been?
I've been trying to watch a little bit.
Do you think it's being mishandled?
I think it should have been dismissed. The shit with the judge that just happened was
that just happened.
Crazy, like trying to send his lawyer to jail. From the outside looking in, it's looking like they got something against him.
Even Boozy shared similar things about how YNW Melly should have been released, but they refused to. This is what's been happening to Young Thug for the last 2 years.
Now they're putting even more charges on him, and then
when they want you, they want you. I knew they wanted him bad when they waited for that law to get passed. They waited all the way.
Penalty.
So it'd be 8-4.
Oh, right. Yeah.
You know, they waited all the way till that law got passed to take him to trial.
Yeah, he was in jail for what, 2 years, 3 years?
Yeah. They could have been took you to trial.
You're right.
They waited till that law got passed and took him to trial a couple months later. When they want you, man. Just don't see how he didn't get a bond after a fucking mistrial.
Yeah.
That made me like, God damn.
Yeah.
Like, after a mistrial, that doesn't happen, really.